It was a bitterly cold Thursday evening when I decided to come home early. I thought a warm dinner and a surprise might help close the emotional distance that had crept between us lately. We'd been growing apart, but I held on to hope that something small, something thoughtful, could pull us back together. As I stepped inside the house, the sound of her laughter drifted from the other room. I paused by the hallway, not out of suspicion but habit. Then I heard her words, casual, cruel, and completely unexpected. Honestly, my ex was better than him in every way. I stopped breathing. Time froze. She hadn't seen me yet. She was still on the phone, still laughing. I stood there, stunned, as the world I had known crumbled in an instant. When she turned and saw me standing there, her smile vanished. Panic filled her face. She hung up immediately and began stammering excuses, but I didn't want to hear them. I had only one question. Is that really how you feel? She paused. That pause told me everything I needed to know. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I simply turned around, took my wallet and keys and left. That night, I checked into a cheap motel. I stared at the blank ceiling, haunted by her words, trying to understand how the woman I had loved for 6 years could say something so heartless. We'd built a life together, shared countless memories, hopes, and late-night promises. And yet, all of it had meant so little to her. I remembered the things I'd given up for her happiness, the compromises I had made without complaint. None of that mattered anymore. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. Texts, missed calls. Her tone grew more desperate with each message. I'm sorry. It was just a stupid joke. Please come home. We need to talk. But I didn't want to talk. I felt betrayed, humiliated, cast aside. Whatever strength and patience I had poured into our relationship felt meaningless now. By noon, she showed up at the motel. I didn't open the door. From behind the curtain, I watched her cry. She knocked for minutes. Then she sat on the floor, hugging her knees like a child. Eventually she left. And still, I couldn't bring myself to feel sympathy. Some things once said leave a wound too deep to heal. I needed clarity, so I went to my brother's place. He's never been the sugarcoating type. After I told him what happened, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "If she could say that, then she never respected you in the first place." That truth cut deep, but I needed it. I needed to stop making excuses for her. Later that day, she came again. This time, she was holding the old photo album we'd filled together over the years. She was wearing the hoodie I gave her during our first trip, back when love still felt effortless. I didn't answer the door right away, but her voice, soft, cracked, filled with guilt, made me pause. "Please," she said. "Just listen to me." I opened the door halfway. She broke down instantly, her face red with tears. I was angry and insecure. I said something horrible just to make myself feel better. It wasn't true. "He means nothing to me," she pleaded. I listened, unmoved. My arms were folded tightly across my chest. "You're my home," she whispered. "Please don't leave." I let her speak. I didn't interrupt. But I also didn't give her the comfort she expected. Not this time. For once, she had to confront what she'd done. Not to some stranger, but to me. "True or not," I said, "you chose to disrespect me. You made a choice. That's not love. That's selfishness." She cried harder, promised to do whatever it took. But I had nothing more to say. The next day, I returned to the house. Not to reconcile, just to collect my things. I told her I needed space, and she should give it to me. She nodded, barely managing to hold back tears as she stood in the hallway, watching me silently pack the life we once shared. There were no arguments, no last-minute declarations, just a quiet grief hanging in the air. In the weeks that followed, I wrestled with everything. Some days I missed her, missed us, but on others I felt liberated. I began rebuilding, hitting the gym, throwing myself into work, reconnecting with friends I had lost touch with while trying to keep our relationship afloat. And little by little, I found myself again. Or maybe I discovered a stronger version of the man I once was. She reached out from time to time. A voicemail on my birthday. A message about something that reminded her of me. I never answered. I had stopped seeking closure. I chose peace instead. As the months rolled on, I never went back. She tried everything. Therapy, handwritten letters, contacting mutual friends. But trust isn't something you can glue back together after shattering it. I wasn't the same man who used to bring home flowers. And she wasn't the woman I once built a future around. Love doesn't always end in screams and slammed doors. Sometimes it ends in silence. In that quiet moment when you finally realize you deserve more, that you deserve respect, that love, without honesty and care, is just a fragile illusion. I didn't hate her. I just finally learned to love myself enough to walk away.